So kita sudah lihat tentang physical properties. Now chemical properties. Chemical properties ialah cara mereka bertindak balas. So bila dia akan bertindak balas? Bila dia membentuk ion. Sama ada ion positif or ion negatif, cation and ion doesn't matter. As long as they can form ion, they will take part in chemical reaction. But if you observe group 18 member pertamanya adalah helium. The electron arrangement 2. Kemudian neon 28. Argon 288. Dan kita ada krypton 28188. So kalau kita lihat valence elektron bagi unsur kumpulan 18 semuanya adalah 8 kecuali helium 2. So susul bila bilangan elektronnya adalah 2 untuk helium dan yang lain adalah 8, ini kita katakan sebagai susunan elektron yang stabil. It's a very stable electron arrangement. Every single atom in the periodic table will try to achieve this stable electron arrangement. Alright? So to do so, some atom might give away their valence electron. Some mungkin gain electron into their valence orbital. Alright? So they might share electron or whatever. Alright, they will do. But since group 18 is already achieved a stable electron arrangement, alright, dia sudah mencapai susunan elektron yang stabil. Dia sudah mencapai susunan elektron yang stabil, dia tak perlu menderma atau menerima elektron. Alright, so we'll see. They have a 8 valence electron. Bila 8 valence electron kita panggil sebagai octet, except helium. Ada 2 saja. We call it duplet. This duplet arrangement atau octet arrangement we classify as a very stable electron arrangement. So susunan elektron yang sangat stabil. Siapa? Octet dan duplet. Bila susunan elektronnya sangat stabil, maka they will never react. Every atom will take part in chemical reaction to reach a stable electron arrangement. Once they have achieved this stable electron arrangement, they won't react anymore. So jadi like group 1, group 17, they'll take part in chemical reaction actively. Why? Because they are not stable yet. They'll try to react to reach stability. But group 18 memang sudah stabil. Octet, duplet sudah stabil. When sudah stabil, why they need to take part in chemical reaction? No need. They won't take part in chemical reaction. So duplet and octet arrangement are stable electron arrangement. Thus, noble gases, start from helium until radon, do not donate or accept or share any electron with any other atoms. So since they don't share, they don't donate, they don't accept electron, they don't form any cation or anion, or they don't react with any other atom. Because of that, earlier I did ask you, scientists find it difficult to identify noble gases. Why? Because they don't react. They don't get attached to any other atom. They're free in the air. Very difficult to extract them from the air. Very difficult. Not say cannot, very difficult. Kalau satu unsur tu bertindak pada unsur lain, they form a compound, easier for me to separate them. But group 18 members, they don't react. Because of that, scientists find it difficult to extract and separate them from the any other compound or from the atmosphere. Very difficult. Not say tak boleh, boleh tapi susah. Alright. With this, all noble gases are inactive. That's why lengai, nadir, noble arrangement. Kalau duplet and octet, kita panggil sebagai noble arrangement. Susunan elektron nadir. Lengai, inaktif. Ni inaktif. Tak boleh, tak bertindak balas dengan mana-mana unsur. So then, because they don't react, they remain by themselves. When they remain by themselves, sebagai satu atom yang tunggal. Sebagai satu atom tunggal, oleh kerana semua kumpulan 18, 100% lah gases, dan atom yang tunggal, kita panggil sebagai monoatomic gas. Satu poin yang penting dalam soalan objektif. So group 18 members are monoatomic gases. Contoh oksigen. Oksigen gas. Tapi O2. Kalau O2, diatomic. Hydrogen. H2. Hydrogen gas. Formula H2. Diatomic. Carbon dioxide. Gas. CO2. 1 carbon, 2 oxygen. 3 atoms involved. So jadi kebanyakan gas adalah 2 atau lebih atom. Tapi kalau satu atom, hanya kumpulan 18 sahaja. So group 18, monoatomic gas. Group 17, dia bukannya gas, tapi diatomic. Semua diatomic. Some of them are gas, some are liquid, some are what we call in the form of solid. Tapi group 18, monoatomic, 100% gas. Colorless somehow. Insoluble in water, remember. So they are in what we call monoatomic gases. Atau gas monoatom. Now kegunaan, application. Group 18, this is important. Very important. So every single thing, daripada helium sampai radon, semua unsur-unsur ini ada banyak kegunaan mereka. In terms of examination, structure question, objective, dia boleh tanyalah. Okay, unsur ni apa kegunaan dia? So, untuk kegunaan ni, unsur mana yang saya boleh gunakan? Okay, which one I can use and so on. Okay, first one ialah helium. So, helium, consider second lightest gas. Hydrogen is the lightest. Helium second. RAM of hydrogen is 1. Kalau H2 baru 2. Helium, RAM-nya 4. Heavier. Heavier than hydrogen. But second lightest gas. So because of that, so they use in various applications. Contoh, weather balloon atau airship digunakan. Contoh kita lihat kemudian. So these are safer than hydrogen. Why? Because it does not get burned. Anything that burn means they take part in chemical reaction. So group 18, they don't take part in chemical reaction. That means they won't get burned. Tidak akan terbakar. Kalau mana-mana unsur terbakar, tapi mereka bertindak balas. So they don't. So therefore safer. Selamat untuk digunakan. Dalam mana? Dalam weather balloon atau airships. Contoh airships. Ini gambar aja airships. Alright? Contoh weather balloon. Mungkin pernah dengar belon kaji cuaca, belon kaji cuaca. But I don't know how many of you all have seen the picture of weather balloon. Ini weather balloon. So untuk kajian cuaca, apakah keadaan cuaca, they will can study. Okay, di satu contoh. Other than that, helium gas juga digunakan dalam balloon dan sebagainya. So kalau ada helium gas, dia ringan sangat, always will go upward into the sky. Alright. So tell me one thing. Alright, later masuk ke dalam grup lah, siapa yang dapat jawapan. Satu balloon yang berisi dengan gas helium, bila dilepaskan, dia akan ke atas, ke angkasa. Alright, so they'll go up lah, into the sky. What will happen to the balloon? Whether it will go out of into the outer space or not, what will happen to the balloon? Okay, tell me. Ini yang pertama, helium. Yang kedua pula, neon. When you talk about neon, neon very famous in application wise, used in advertising lights. All these colorful lights, contoh macam ni. All these colorful lights, ada neon. Neon bulb kita panggil. Alright, this another example. All these colorful one, neon. So neon used in advertising light, lampu-lampu iklan. Itu gas neon. Yang ketiga ialah argon. So argon used in bulbs. Mentol biasa. This is mentol biasa. Dalam mentol ini argon. Why dia masuk ke argon? Group 18. Dia tak bertindak balas. So jadi filament di dalam tu akan membara, sangat panas. So if there's any other than argon, let's say ada udara ada oksigen, there will be some reaction. Tindak balas mungkin berlaku. Kalau berisi dengan gas argon, no reaction. Dan kedua kegunaan bagi argon ialah creates an inert environment for welding, pengimpalan logam. Terutamanya di kawasan-kawasan telaga minyak. Let's say pelantar minyak. Tempat pelantar minyak, so very dangerous. Kalau ada apa-apa aktiviti pengimpalan, welding activity to be done, they'll spray with argon gas first. Make the region not much oxygen available. Sebab kalau gunakan welding, ada percikan api boleh meletup. In fact, pelantar minyak ada banyak gas-gas, petroleum liquids and so on. Very dangerous. So, they will spray this for safety environment. Yang keempat, krypton. Used for laser treatment, eye treatment. Kemudian, photographic flash lamp. Yang kamera yang ada flash. Ini contoh-contoh lah, ini laser treatment. Ini kamera, atasnya ada flash. So, dalam tu lampu-lampu flash ni, krypton digunakan. Lepas krypton, radon. Xenon dulu. Xenon used in high-powered bulb. High-powered bulb such as stroboscope. Stroboscope you mungkin ada belajar dalam physics lah. Alright, so those who have learned in physics, dia akan tahu tentang stroboscope. But I have a picture here. Nah, high-powered bulb. Contoh high-powered bulb, ini. Lampu kereta. So, ada lampu kereta, kita lihat, it's not that bright. Ada some cars, the big cars, the expensive cars, lampunya terlampau terang. Xenon light. Projector, xenon light. Overhead projector, also xenon light digunakan. The bulbnya adalah xenon. Contoh kedua, stroboscope. This is stroboscope. So for physics, when you study about in chapter 2 nak belajar tentang ticker tape, one of the application kita boleh gunakan stroboscope juga. Ticker tape, you boleh belajar. Check with your teacher. Next, other than these two, stadium lights. Sometimes near the toll got lights. The big light. The one semua ini adalah xenon light. Kuasa tinggi. Or let's say twin tower. So there will be a light from the ground. Shoot towards the twin tower. So the twin tower looks very bright. Xenon bulb as well. Semua spotlight, xenon bulb as well. So they are high powered bulb. Dan yang terakhir, radon. Radon is used for cancer treatment. Contoh, ini, chemoterapi. Dia gunakan radon. Also used to detect leaks in pipes as well. Underground pipe. Kalau ada pipe leakages, dia akan gunakan radon untuk mengenal pasti. Can also. So these are the 6 applications. Every application is important.
Let's go!